The rain fell in relentless sheets, drumming against the windowpane of Lena's bedroom like an impatient visitor demanding entry. She barely noticed, her charcoal pencil gliding across the sketchpad in quick, sure strokes, a habit she retreated into whenever the world outside grew too loud. Tonight, the house was silent except for the storm. Her parents were away, her brother at a weekend retreat. Just her art, and the quiet. Then, the doorbell rang. Lena froze, pencil hovering midline. No one was supposed to be here. The clock on her bedside table read 10:37 p.m. Too late for deliveries, too early for drunken friends of her brother stumbling home. Heart thudding, she crept downstairs, the wooden steps groaning under her bare feet. Through the peephole, a figure stood haloed by the porch light, rain sluicing off his broad shoulders. Daniel. Her breath hitched. Daniel Rivera, her older brother's best friend, the guy who'd been a constant, infuriating presence in her life since she was 16. The same Daniel who, last summer, had smirked at her across the bonfire while her brother wasn't looking and said, "Your trouble, Lena." In a voice that didn't sound like a warning at all. She yanked the door open. "What are you doing here?" Water dripped from his dark hair as he shook his head like a dog, flashing her a grin that was all white teeth and effortless charm. "Nice to see you too. Hermanita. Lena crossed her arms. "I'm not your little sister." Could have fooled me. His gaze flicked past her, into the empty house. "You alone?" A shiver skittered down her spine. "Yes." "Good." He stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, his soaked t-shirt clinging to the hard planes of his chest. The scent of rain and something warmer, like leather and spice, filled the foyer. Car broke down half a mile away. "Saw your lights on." She should have offered him a towel. A drink. Something polite. Instead, she stood rooted in place, hyper-aware of the way his presence seemed to shrink the room. "You couldn't call." "Phone's dead." He shrugged, then smirked. "Unless you're kicking me back out into the storm." Yes, she should have said. Before this becomes a problem. But the way he was looking at her, like he already knew she wouldn't, made her lips press into a thin line. "You can wait it out," she muttered, turning toward the kitchen. "But you're making coffee. And not calling me Hermanita again." Behind her, his low laugh curled around her like smoke. "Whatever you say, trouble." And just like that, the quiet of the house was gone. The kitchen light hummed softly overhead as Lena rummaged through cabinets, her fingers trembling slightly. She could feel Daniel's gaze burning into her back, steady and unnerving. "Coffee's in the pantry," she said, more sharply than intended. A chuckle. "Still bossy, I see." His voice was closer now, the heat of his body radiating against her spine as he reached past her to grab the canister. His forearm brushed her shoulder, just a flicker of contact, but it sent a jolt through her. She stepped aside, putting space between them. Daniel didn't seem to notice her reaction, or if he did, he ignored it. He moved with an easy confidence, filling the pot with water, measuring grounds. The domesticity of it was absurd. Here was a man who raced motorcycles and got into bar fights, now standing in her kitchen like he belonged there. "You never answered my question," she said, leaning against the counter. "Which one?" "Why you really came here?" He paused, his back still to her. The coffee machine gurgled to life. "Told you. Car trouble." "Bullshit." The word slipped out before she could stop it. "You have AAA. And half this town would have let you crash on their couch." Daniel turned then, his dark eyes glinting with something unreadable. "Maybe I wanted to see you." The air between them thickened. Lena's pulse hammered in her throat. This was dangerous. He was her brother's best friend. Off limits. Forbidden. She forced a laugh. "Right. Because we're so close. We could be." He took a step forward. The storm outside rattled the windows, a gust of wind howling through the trees. The lights flickered once, twice, then died, plunging them into darkness. Lena gasped. A second later, warm hands gripped her waist, steadying her. "Easy, Daniel murmured, his breath warm against her temple. Just the storm. She should have pulled away. But his touch was electric, his body solid against hers. The scent of rain and coffee and him enveloped her, dizzying. "You're shaking," he said. "I'm not." But she was. His thumb traced a slow circle over her hip bone, a silent challenge. "Liar." The word hung between them, charged. Somewhere in the back of her mind, warning bells screamed. This was a line they couldn't uncross. Then, distantly, the crunch of gravel under tires. Lena stiffened. "Someone's here." Daniel's grip tightened briefly before he let go. "Expecting company?" "No." Her voice was barely a whisper. Headlights swept across the kitchen wall. A car door slammed. Daniel's jaw clenched. "Back door. Now." She didn't argue. The back door creaked as Daniel shoved it open, pulling Lena into the rain-soaked night. Cold water immediately seeped through her socks, shocking her senses back to reality. "Who the hell is that?" Daniel growled, peering around the side of the house. Lena strained to listen over the storm. A familiar voice called out, "Lena. You home?" Her stomach dropped. Ethan. Her brother. Daniel went rigid beside her. "Shit." The back porch light flickered on suddenly, illuminating their guilty faces. There was no time to run. Ethan rounded the corner, his jacket soaked, his expression shifting from relief to confusion to something darker as he took in the scene. Daniel, standing too close. Lena, breathless. The tension between them thick enough to choke on. "What's going on?" Ethan's voice was dangerously calm. Daniel stepped back, hands raised in mock surrender. "Car trouble. Just waiting out the storm." Ethan's gaze cut to Lena. "And you were?" Her mouth went dry. She could lie. Should lie. But the weight of Daniel's stare, expectant, challenging, locked the words in her throat. The silence stretched too long. Ethan's jaw tightened. "Get inside. Both of you." The living room felt like a courtroom. Ethan paced in front of the fireplace, his boots leaving wet prints on the hardwood. Lena sat stiffly on the couch, Daniel leaning against the wall beside her, radiating restless energy. "Start talking," Ethan demanded. Daniel exhaled sharply. "Nothing happened." "Bullshit. I know that look." Ethan stopped pacing, his eyes blazing. "How long?" Lena's nails dug into her palms. "Their know how long." "Then why did you two look like you were about to?" Ethan cut himself off, running a hand through his hair. "Christ. Daniel. My sister. Daniel pushed off the wall. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" The air crackled. Lena could feel the moment teetering on the edge. One wrong word, and everything would shatter. Daniel met Ethan's glare head-on. "It's like I can't fucking breathe when she's in the room." The confession landed like a grenade. Ethan's face went slack. Lena's breath caught. Even the storm outside seemed to pause. Daniel didn't look at her. Didn't take it back. Just stood there, shoulders squared, as if waiting for the blow. Ethan let out a harsh laugh. "You're dead to me." He grabbed his keys off the table. "Both of you." The front door slammed. In the ringing silence, Lena finally turned to Daniel. His expression was unreadable in the dim light. "Well," he said quietly, "that could have gone better." She wanted to scream, to laugh, to kiss him again. Instead, she whispered, "What now?" Daniel reached for her hand. His fingers were warm, certain. "Now we choose." The echo of Ethan's departure still hung in the air like gun smoke. Lena stared at Daniel's hand wrapped around hers. Warm, grounding, real, and for the first time that night, the world felt terrifyingly quiet. What does choose even mean? Her voice barely rose above the patter of rain against the windows. Daniel exhaled, his thumb tracing slow circles over her knuckles. "It means we stop pretending." She wanted to. God, she wanted to. But the weight of Ethan's fury pressed against her ribs. He'll never forgive us. He might. Daniel stepped closer, his free hand lifting to cradle her jaw. But even if he doesn't, his thumb brushed her lower lip, stealing her breath. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life wondering what if ? The question unraveled her. She had wondered, for years, every time Daniel laughed at something she said, every time his gaze lingered a second too long. She'd buried it, told herself it was just a crush. But now, with his touch branding her skin, denial was impossible. Lena leaned into his palm. This is insane.
Yeah.
His mouth quirked. But it's ours. And then he kissed her. Not like before, no hesitation, no interruption. This was fire and certainty, his fingers tangling in her hair as if he'd been waiting a lifetime to do it. She melted into him, the last of her resistance crumbling. When they broke apart, foreheads pressed together, Daniel's voice was rough. Tell me to leave, and I will. But if you want this, his grip tightened slightly. Then I'm all in. Consequences be damned. The words settled over her like a vow. Lena closed her eyes, breathing him in, coffee and rain and something uniquely Daniel star. When she opened them again, her decision was clear. I'm not letting you go. Epilogue. 3 months later. The art gallery buzzed with chatter, but Lena barely heard it. Her paintings lined the walls, vibrant and bold, just like the life she'd chosen. A familiar presence settled beside her. Daniel, in a dark suit that made her fingers itch to undo the top button. Nervous. Terrified. She laced their fingers together. He brought their joined hands to his lips. You're brilliant. They'll see it. Across the room, Ethan stood near the exit, arms crossed. Their eyes met. He didn't smile, but he didn't leave either. Progress. Daniel squeezed her hand. Ready. Lena took a deep breath.
Yeah.
And as she stepped into the spotlight, his quiet "that's my girl" followed her. A promise, a beginning, and everything in between.